it's just a blessing, man. Like I think people were trying to maybe talk, but it's hard to talk to a person that's addicted.
How much of the addiction, the rehabilitation, like how much of that overlap with the moments you crashed and you weren't as inspired to go and do some of the things that you had done? Like what type of influence did the drugs and the recovery and all that have on your music?
I think the recovery, being on drugs and doing music was like wonderful.
Got it.
Cause I think my music was like amazing. You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole thing.
What were the drug songs?
Maybe 2020. The 2020 experience.
Oh.
Great album.
And then I wanna say,
Hey, look, I ain't gonna lie. You know, I know Justin Timberlake has had his fair share of controversies over the years, but that 2020 Experience album was very dope. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember when that came out, him and Justin, when they lock in, he was really in his bag on that album.
Beyonce, I think Drunk in Love doing that.
What?
Jay-Z, Magna Carta.
What?
Yeah.
Being high and doing music was great because those albums and that.
He did Magna Carta, Holy Grail while he was on drugs. That's crazy because I have that album actually situated back there. I might need to move it up because Kanye on his crazy stuff right now. But that album was amazing. I love that album from Jay-Z. It got mixed reviews from people, but I felt like it was a very focused project, and I also felt like it was a great stepping stone of Jay-Z going from Magna Carta to 444. You know what I mean?
That time was amazing, but it's like decades long of a run, right? You know, like it's late 90s, early 2000s of a run. So it's not like you needed that. Are you saying the feeling of producing music while
fun.
you...
It was fun during that time. But those were cool albums. But my best work was done when I wasn't on drugs.
Yeah.
That's facts. It was just fun. Creating. You had to be, I'm doing all them albums back to back, so it was just that experience. And as I look back at it now, it's like, they were great, but they don't stand like my big records, like Big Pimpin', Dirt Off Your Shoulder, 1 in a Million. Those are drug free.
What?
You know what I'm saying? So when I look back at my highlights, that's probably a dip. Even though it was still good, you know, that's just God given talent in me. Like God still having his hand on me. You know what I'm saying? That's why those songs were still beautiful, but they don't have like Future Sex Love sound type of.
Yeah.
That's when it kind of started at the end of that Future Sex Love sound.
Yeah, man, shout out to Timbaland, one of the OGs in the game, one of the best to ever do it, especially on the production tip. I remember being a kid hearing Timbaland's production on the radio, and it just sounded so different from whatever was happening then. And of course, you know, as they got bigger, people started to bite their sound, but like Timbo, Virginia, Missy, that whole camp, even Pharrell, you know what I'm saying? That whole camp just coming out of VA at the time, really making noise in the industry. But it's interesting to know that he was actually high in his latter part of his career when he was producing some of the records like Drunk in Love and Magna Carta Grail. Now, listen to me. The early Timbo was a problem. The tracks that he used to lace Aaliyah with were amazing. Even all the way up to, 98, 99 when Big Pimpin' came out. That beat alone, just crazy. Like the sounds, like Timbo will take sounds from anything. He'll go outside, he'll slap two bricks together and he'll use that as a sound in a beat. And I always thought that was crazy. But I mean, I don't know what it is about artists and producers and drugs. It's just something that just goes hand in hand. And what you would consider drug, you know, it could be alcohol or, you know, whatever you choose to do recreationally. But when you're in the studio and you're trying to catch a vibe, that's just part of it. Now, I do know artists that go in the studio and they don't use those things, and, you know, but I honestly think it's just different strokes for different folks. You know, some people, you know, when you go into a studio, they need fresh baked cookies. Some people, when you go in the studio, they need Ciroc or they need the alcohol lineup. Like, it's different things for different people. And artists, you know, when they create, a lot of times they need those little inspirations, but some people don't need that. And I honestly think that's a gift in itself, when you can just go in and just create from source and not really need those external things to help you, get your creative juices going. But even when he was on all that and going through those problems, he was still cranking out bangers, right? And that's the difference between somebody that tries to do it and somebody that actually has that God-given talent to do it. So yeah, man, shout out to Timbo. But yeah, man, it's the Kid Ríez. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, make sure y'all be safe, stay carefree, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.